Hello, this is Sideways 8 again. The last couple of videos, I was talking about how many ideologies have this doublethink formula, where they get you to do things, or think things, or say things in a certain way which are designed to make you psychologically, physically unhealthy, make you cuckoo. And once these symptoms of these abnormalities become most prominent, is when they say, "Good job, you are becoming healthy." No, 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 no. This is a sign of good health. No, 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 no. This is a sign of becoming a good person. No, no, no. This is becoming closer to God. The formula is do something that makes you sick, make you insane, then tell you and comfort you saying that what you're doing is healthy and is a proof of sanity. Then I told in the next video about how I grew up and struggled with depression and anxiety because I grew up in a broken home. My mom grew up in an abusive home, and because what happened is my grandpa went to war in World War II, and that caused trauma. He came home, and because of that trauma, he began to drink to deal with it, and that made him an asshole. He started abusing my mother. And that got passed down to her, and I got the shit now. And because of this shit, it's made it. I could have had anything I wanted, but because of this emotional bullcrap, I couldn't work. I couldn't function. Many times I went into poverty. I just could not be all I could be. And it's what rang true for my mother. My mother could not be all that she could be because she was emotionally screwed up. Now, the reason why I brought up my childhood in this is that I tell you from the perspective of what I've seen from observing others, related or otherwise, friends of mine, or from my first-hand experience and memories of what it's like to go through there and how it affects a person negatively. And I have to tell you, there's an old saying that you can get addicted to a certain type of sadness. Yes, you can get addicted to this state of mind. And I bring that up because I see that in the SJWs. I see that in the feminazis. I see that in the fundamental Christians. I see that in the Islamic jihadis. I see that in the very, very extreme white supremacists, Nazis, and fascists. I see all the same behavior. That I saw growing up with when I was dealing with my mom and dealing with these other people. And the behavior patterns that she would do is, first of all, is that I would have to get the feeling of walking around eggshells around my mother. Just never know what would set her off. It just, hello, BAM! And then she'd be all over me and yelling at me or maybe slapping me. And that generated a fear of paranoia. And how does this relate to SJWs? Well, the political correctness is designed to do the same thing. It's designed to make a person who adheres to it crazy. And anyone who's got to be around them, it feels like a big walking on eggshells feeling. It is not healthy. The other thing she would do is she never would like to be right, even though she would not hold herself to the most high of the best valid positions. For example, what would happen is my brother was trying to get a deal with a car with this guy that he knew. But this guy was shady as fuck. And so my mom, this guy got his hooks into my mother and tried to convince him that he's the best guy ever. And me and my brother were talking about pressing charges or suing this guy. And the more we presented evidence or reasonings that illustrate how terrible this guy is and what he was trying to do, the angrier she got, until she got into a point where she got in a rage. She didn't want to be wrong. She didn't want to admit wrong. This is what SJWs do. If you try to show them up anything that shows them proves that they are wrong, they go into fucking rage. And another thing she would do is that consciously half the time, consciously the other half the time, purposely, she would do things that would force you to be assertive, at least defend yourself in an assertive manner, and sometimes physically. And what would happen is that when you would defend yourself, or at least be assertive and stand in your ground against her, she would cry victim. I'm the victim. Why are you picking on me? Why you treat me like shit? Why are you doing this? Because according to her mind, a relationship is a one-way street, and she's allowed to do anything she wants to you, or used to. She's gotten much better now. But I'm telling you how it was. This is what SJWs do. Recently, there's a video about this guy who was threatening this guy in a truck. He was threatening to kill him or kick his ass. So what did the guy do? He stood his ground, defended, and he drove right through the block, the BML members who were blocking the road. And then you see him hugging and crying, "Why are they picking on us? Why are they picking on us? We did nothing wrong." The reason why I bring this up is I see what I noticed in my mom's dysfunctional behavior that made her abusive to me to agree, I see in social justice warriors. The only difference is my mom, it was a side effect of just, oh shit, that's just how life goes. But with the social justice warriors, it's because that their ideology was designed intentionally to break them down this way and make them into abusive people, because they're psychologically screwed up, because their ideology is designed to break them down and make them dysfunctional on purpose. Or it draws people who are already like that, and it allows them to excuse their behavior, that abusive behavior, and turn into a moral justification. They give a moral justification to act out their psychological demons. And because of this, I have become more sensitive of noticing these behavior patterns and personalities. And when I see a Nazi or extreme Christian or extreme jihadi or extreme feminist or extreme social justice person, I see all the same behavioral traits. I see a bunch of broken people haunted by psychological demons trying to wrap you into their sickness. This is why I make no difference between all of them. To me, it doesn't matter what they say they are or what label they claim to. Is their behavior I'm paying attention to. And to me, they're all the one same. They're all abusive people. They all think the same, they all behave the same, they all talk the same. And they all do the same thing. And my mother's behavior was intolerable. She was not a very tolerant person to other people other than herself that were like her. And these people that I miss, no matter what they have the same personality. They are intolerant and hostile to anyone who doesn't think like them or doesn't tolerate the bullshit. You stand up to them somehow, you're just picking on them. They have done nothing wrong. So what we're dealing with here, folks, is abusive personalities. I'll talk more about this later.